Yes, man. I just done it. I've just done that just in time, just in time, man. It was just like, yeah, the music was going away, and I got carried away with the music. You understand me? Yeah, man. It's all good. Actually, let me take off this thing here. Let me take off this thing because it's not visualizing all of me. Yeah, that's better. Good evening, folks. Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody? I hope everybody is well. Just thought I'd come in here, give you a match preview. I know it's got on the top here like LFC football talk. Yeah, but this is just like literally a background I made up myself. So I thought I'd just try it out. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, please like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel and get these viewings up at the moment. Not many people watching at the moment, but like get these viewings up, please. Get these viewings up. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, if you want to chat to me in the comment section down below. Excuse me. Okay. So yeah, it's Civil War on Sunday. Civil War on Sunday, guys. What you guys telling me? Civil War on Sunday, bro. Liverpool versus Man United at Anfield, and that's always a humdinger. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go for the press conference that Arlie Stott had today, and obviously we will stop it and chop up bits of the actual press conference. You know what I mean? Few things yeah, few things there to talk about. So here we go.
Can we just check on team news first of all? Obviously, Ryan Gravenberg, we understand, was taken off as a precaution. Is he okay? Where's Alisson at and Kanate as well? Will he be fit to face Manchester?
Ryan is completely fit, although we still have to train twice. But if you ask me now, he's completely fit. We are in a good place with the Dutch national team. If Ronald Koeman can make a decision either to play Tijani Reinders or Ryan Gravenberg. So he played them both 45 minutes. Ibu has come back to us, started his sessions again and expected to train with us today. And the third one is Alisson. He's not training with us, so he's out.
Have you got any further indication just how long Alisson could be?
Like I always say, it's so difficult to say because the end phase of rehab always can give you positives or negatives, but he will not play in the weekend and also not next week.
Virgil has spoken again about just how difficult it is to retain the Premier League title, and possibly we saw some of that in the run prior to the international break as well. So what's your message being to the players now as you regroup, return to Premier League action in what is traditionally the biggest fixture, one of the biggest fixtures in the calendar?
No, I think what we can say is if we compare ourselves to last season, we don't create as many chances as we did last season, in the start of last season. But we are still the team that from open play creates the most XG chances, most shots on target. But we've conceded too many goals. We've conceded too many goals, that's for sure. And we've conceded 9, where 4 of them are from set pieces. That is what was and still is, by the way, a strength of us, which sounds weird if you concede 4. But that's not a reflection of the chances we've conceded in terms of set pieces. So the other 5 were free.
It doesn't take a genius to know that we're conceding far too many goals. Because when you look at our defense is all over the place. And what doesn't help with Arne Slot, you know what I mean? It's like when he's getting beaten, sometimes he tends to panic, and then what he does, he starts throwing, like all his attackers on the pitch, and then he's throwing all his attackers on the pitch, and then literally sort of like it's a situation where it's got like no defenders or all attackers. You understand what I'm getting at? So that to me at the end of the day, it's like, you know what I mean, it's of no sort of like surprise that we're conceding too many goals, because you haven't got the people at the end of the day in the right spaces. You know what I mean? You're playing Sabozlai at right back, back, you're playing Gravenberch, it's as centre back. You know what I mean? You can't do those sort of things. You have to play. Put it this way, you have to play like stop playing square pegs in round holes and start playing the players in proper position. That's what's killing us. Do you know what I mean? The fact that you're popping this person in here and popping that person in there that is not in their position. Do you know what I mean? And you're literally expecting a good outcome. Come on now, seriously. You know what I mean? You should know this at the day. Stop putting square pegs in round holes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
There were 2 fast breaks and 3 from open play. I think in open play, we are conceding too many crosses. So that is one of the things where we have to address and what we have to do better. And like Virgil says, I don't know if he says this, but I think he means he implements this. He means this. That teams are facing us differently than the first half of last season, but that is also what I've said. The amount of long balls that we are facing now compared to last season, I think we're already 1/3 on the way in the amount of long balls we have to defend compared to last season. After 7 games already, so we have to find answers to that, and the first answer is not to concede so.
And another thing as well, you shouldn't be having to find answers. Like you should know. You should really know that things are going to be different this season, in respects of how teams was set up against you and how teams will play you this season. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when you changed up the tactics somewhat last season, it was a bit of like, an unknown entity, as it were. Do you know what I mean? Players were playing to their fullness and so forth. But like the second season, people start getting used to, obviously, the way you play, and they know how to set up against you. Well, they think they know how to set up against you. So you should know this. One of the things that Arne Slot done wrong, which I would criticize him for, these players that he's brought in. These players that he brought into the club, you know what I mean? He's played them too quick. You know what I mean? I think a lot of those players. The only player, right, I would say that should sort of like start at the whole 4 that we brought would have been sort of like Ekatika, because he's actually sort of like he's shown at the day that sort of like he can adapt quickly. Do you know what I mean? The rest haven't really showed that they can adapt quickly. I'm not saying they've been shit. It's just that the process of adapting is going to be a bit more longer than what it is with Ekatika. Do you know what I mean? So, but you should know teams are going to set up different against you. They're going to sort of play you different. Do you know what I mean? So you should have really been prepared for that. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't be finding the answer now. You understand what I'm getting at?
Many goals, because if it's harder to score your goals, the best thing you can do is make it harder for teams to score against you as well.
Well, we've also, you mentioned that
Oh,
obviously
gosh.
scoring goals. When we've seen Mo's numbers drop off because it's 5 in his last 21 appearances. Last season we saw him hit 32 in the first 41 games. Yet against Manchester United, he scored more goals in this fixture than any other player. So is this the kind of game that maybe could reignite Mo's form once again, or goal scoring form, I should say?
I think it should not matter who we are playing.
Yeah, man. Big up Trudon in the building, man. Man like Trudon. Big up your chest, you. Man like Trudon. Big up, bless up, one love. This man just chats a lot of... Bro. Sometimes I tend to have to agree with you. My friend. Right, it's
on Sunday or Saturday, but we play on Sunday. If you've lost 3 games in a row and you wear the Liverpool shirt, it doesn't matter who your opponent is, you have to react. And if there's one thing I cannot blame the players, is that they give everything they have every single game. They go all in from the first till the last minute. This is what we did in the last 3 games as well. We, in both games, had to come back. In all 3 games, we had to come back from being 1-0 down. In 2 games, we managed to do so. But unfortunately lost in the end, where we were having chances in both games, maybe more than our opponent, to win it. But if you've lost 3 in a row, it doesn't matter if Man United is coming or Brentford next week, there should always be a reaction, not only from all the players.
How do you view this? Just speaking about playing Manchester United in general, the rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United. How do you view this as an occasion now that you've been involved in it?
It's I look forward to every single Premier League game, but
now you should be saying that this is civil war. This is what I'm saying to you. And do you not get it? And it's us against them. This is what I'm saying about some foreign managers. Yeah, excuse me. Some foreign managers, I don't think they get it. Some, I'm not saying no, but some foreign managers, I don't think they get it when it comes to Liverpool and Man United. Do you know what I mean? This is civil war, my friend. It's civil war. Us against them. Bragging rights for the King of England. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? This is the two most successful teams that in British or English history. Most two successful teams. Remember that we're more successful. Yeah, we're at the top. Yeah, right. This is big. This ain't like no other Premiership game. So don't think of it like no other Premiership game. That's where you're going wrong, because you're just taking it lightly. You're thinking of it as just another Premiership game, just another game with Burnley, just another game with Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? No, it's not like that, man. This is civil war, my friend. Civil war.
But maybe even more towards the Man United one, because I know how special it is, and I've experienced it last season, how special of a game it is. We know that it's probably the game that's been watched the most all over the world. So yeah, it's special to be part of it, but in the end, it's also a game where we have to be at our best, because United, in my opinion, has had a better start of the season than maybe the league table is showing. So yeah, very interesting game, and a game to look forward to, especially because it's played at Anfield. And I think our fans have been so supportive for us as long as I'm here, and long before I was here. And I think they understand that the team that has lost three times in a row, they need to be ready, our team. But I think our fans can help us and will help us on Sunday as well.
Yeah, the fans will help you, but it's down to you, Honest. As I said, it's down to you, Honest, to get the tactics right and get the mentality right. Do you know what I mean? You get the tactics right and you get the mentality right, and we'll do the rest.
Hi, Arne. You mentioned before about teams playing you in a different way this season, obviously trying to defend your championship. Have you had to, or how much have you had to sort of rethink how you set up and how you play, and how can Liverpool start to surprise teams again?
If you are the team that has created most chances from open play, you can argue if we don't surprise teams. Maybe we do things better than the last three results has shown. But it's also clear what I just said, that we haven't created that many chances we did last season, and there's a reason for that. That's playing style of the opponent, and we have to find answers to that. But the first answer is not to concede so many goals as we did, because there's one way of winning a game of football, to score 2 or 3 goals. But if the other team scores 1 or 2 goals, you need 3 goals. Where last season we also were able to keep a clean sheet and only need 1 goal. First half of last season, we mainly got these goals from a special moment of one of our front three. Where in the second half, we mainly needed a set piece to make the difference against these low blocks. And this season, we haven't had that many special moments. Special, what I mean is an act of brilliance. And we haven't scored from a set piece. If you would tell...
Yes, it's all down to you, honestly. It's all down to you. All I seem to be hearing from Lani is excuses. Do you know what I mean? Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. There's not many of you in today. And this has been rather concerning. A concern of mine, that sort of like I'm only getting like 2 or 3 people viewing, and obviously, sometimes none. This is rather concerning. I have to ask, are my notifications going out? Anyway, let's crack on with the video.
Me that we've conceded 40% of our goals from set pieces, and the number one in the league has scored 60% of their goals from set pieces, and we're still 1 point behind that team.
Oh yeah. This is what Arnie thought. You're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot, man. Why are you mentioning Arsenal? Why are you mentioning Arsenal? I mean, what is the hell is wrong with you? Why are you mentioning Arsenal? Arsenal's got nothing to do with us, with how they win games and how they score goals. It's got nothing to do with us. This is what I don't like about people like Arnie Stott when they come out with this bullshit, man, making excuses. You understand? It's bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Concentrate on your own team. Concentrate in your team getting results. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Because you know what it is at the day, right? Put it this way, I respect what excuse me. I respect what sort of like what Arsenal's doing because they're getting the points. No matter how they do it, with set pieces or whatever. Do you know what I mean? They're still getting the points. So don't do all that, man. Don't do that, man. And you know what? At the end of the day, right, I said for a long time, one of my main criticisms of like Arne Slot, which I wasn't really in favour of him coming to the club, is like things like this. You know what I mean? When the going gets tough, he's got no experience. He's got no experience, man. I dread to think. You know what? Then, Dave, if we don't win on Sunday against Man United, yeah, right, there needs to be serious questions asked. I'm telling you, man. Seriously, man. Let's see this one. YouTube are slow to show live feeds on my feed. Yeah, man, it's just I don't know what it is, man, but like it's never been as bad as this for a very long time. For a very long time. Especially if people are not subscribed. Do you know what I mean? I might have to do a thing with subscribers only and see what happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't rate this manager at all. He's got lucky. Bro, Trudon, I called it out. I called it out from last season, and everybody got on at me saying, "No, you hate your hater. You hate Arne Slot. You this and that." They think that, but now people are seeing seeing what I'm talking about. The lack of experience. Do you know what I mean? The lack of experience in that game against Chelsea, right, was horrendous, my friend. It was horrendous. You know what I mean? You know, the lack of experience at the day, right? You're supposed to be going to win a game, yeah? You're supposed to be winning a game, right? And you frigging sort of like bringing on Endo. Bringing on Endo. Come on now, man. Seriously, man. It's a lack of experience for me. The lack of experience for me, I'm telling you. Right, let's get back to the video.
I would probably think that's not even that bad, but it is, of course, clear that conceding 4 is far too much for a team that wants to compete.
And Alexander Isak played twice for Sweden, 4 games over the international break. I just wonder how you see his fitness progressing, as I know you've been keen to sort of build him up steadily, given his lack of pre-season and everything that's gone on.
Yeah, I think that's what we did. And I think now he had his 5-6 weeks of pre-season, which is normal for every player, especially if you've been out for 3 or 4 months. So fitness-wise, I think he's now close to the level he should be. And now I think we can judge him in the best, in a fair way from now on. So
stop playing him right.
I know how this industry works. If he plays there twice and doesn't score,
he's not getting no service. That's the thing about it. He's getting no service, man. No service at all. Do you know what I mean? Isak. Do you know what I mean? You know, I've got a lineup of what should happen on Sunday, and I'll show you when this video finishes.
Then that's not what you're hoping for. Of course, you're hoping if they go to the national team, they score goals like Jody did, like Virgil did, like Dominic did, and like McAllister did. Do I forget a few? Probably. But he didn't. But I think his pre-season maybe finished. Now he's played a few games, 70, 80, 90 minutes. So let's see where he is from in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you.
Carl?
This team is not used to losing 3 games in a row. I'm just wondering what effects that may have had on confidence as you look to the dressing room, sort of re-establish sort of normality.
No, I think these players might need me, but I don't think they need me to tell them what has happened. We've played 10 games this season, won 7, lost 3. And the 3 we've lost by very close margins, twice in the last minute and once
because you're
both teams got a penalty. Both times the VAR should have overturned that decision, but only the one we got was overturned. So the margins are small, but I keep saying we should not be dependent of that margins. Although we play Chelsea away, I think it's normal that that's an equal game because Chelsea has a very good team as well, and we were able to create more than them. So that is part of it, but results don't lie. If you lose 3 times in a row, we have to do better. But I think these players that have experienced so many things don't wake up at night thinking, wow, we've lost 3 times. We need to be aware of that. We are aware of that, and we have to react to that. But we have to give the same reaction if we win 3 times in a row and Man United is on the fixture list. So what we have to do is create habits, do everything what we usually do if we win or lose. But maybe after losing 3 times, you're hoping for that sparkle or this 1 or 2% more.
Yeah.
Not only from us, also from our fans on Sunday.
Don't worry about the fans, man. Do your job, and we will. You know what I mean? We'll do ours, man. Don't worry about us, man. Seriously, you're too much dependent on. Yes, big up Ravi in the building. Big up Ravi. Big up Ravi, man. General. Yes, Ravi. Big up your chest, you would. Yeah, don't worry about us, mate. Just do your job, man. Just do your job as a head coach and like get the mentality right, get the tactics right. I mean, putting people putting people in the right places and such, and the rest will follow. Do you know what I mean? Because all I seem to be hearing so far in this press conference is a bag of excuses. I ain't gonna lie.
Did the international break help in the way in it sort of plays out of the current situation at the club and give them a chance of a new scenario with the countries, and also help quieten down the sort of talk about losing 3 in a week?
That last thing I don't know. I assume that everybody's talking about that now again. I don't know, but it's just a situation as it is. You could argue it's better to have them with you to have the next game again, and then people cannot talk about it for 2 weeks. Now people could talk about it for 2 weeks. They went to the national team. A few of them had goals and assists, but what I like about top players is that
You know what they did as well, Strachey, I think the Argentina coach, yeah, like I think McAllister played two 90 minutes, and the last 90 minutes that he played was in a friendly against Puerto Rico, but he played the whole game and everything like that. Do you know what I mean? Is there any need for that? Do you know what I mean? Is there any need for that? Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, like some teams that they are playing qualifiers, but some teams are playing friendlies. Do you know what I mean? What's the fucking point? Friendlies, what is the fucking point? Seriously, I just don't get the fact that today is like breaking up the season at today, right? And playing international friendlies. What the hell? It makes no sense to me. Do you know what I mean? And some of these managers at the day, they get like, you know, they get selfish at the day. They only think of like, you know, the national team. So some players at the day, right, will play, you know, these full 90 minutes in the day, right, and come back to play a game, come back to play a big game, yeah, right? But they're knackered, they're tired, so they can't start. Because McAllister ain't gonna be able to start on Sunday. Ain't gonna be able to start because he was the last one. He was the last one to come back off international duty. because the manager, yeah, the manager of Argentina chose to play him for 90 minutes in a friendly against Puerto Rico. Fuck's sake.
You don't notice anything if they win 3 times in a row. They don't walk into this building or in the dressing room feeling they are so much better than the rest of the league. They just prepare themselves every single time in the same way if they win or lose. But yeah, the outside world is of course very focused on the results, which we are as well. So we don't deny the results over here. We need to do better. Not only because we lost 3 times. I think in general, if you look at all the 10 games, it was 10 times quite equal, like last season, by the way. And we are trying to work every single day to make that gap between us and the teams we face bigger. But yeah, easier said than done.
Arne, just on Alexis, he was talking the other night after the Argentina game, saying he hadn't at the start of the season individually that he'd hoped for. Do you put that down to the big chunk of pre-season that he missed? And similar to Alex, would you expect him now to be in a position to kick on and be more influential?
Yeah, I haven't heard that interview, so I don't know what he meant. Did he meant the quality of play? Did he meant the amount of minutes he made? One thing is clear, and that's what it was in your question, is that he missed out on a lot. Unfortunately, he went out immediately after we won the league, and we were expecting him to be back from the start of pre-season, which he wasn't. And yeah, that led to the fact that he wasn't able to play 3 times in a row. So he went in, out, 60 minutes, 45 minutes. And that's never an ideal scenario for a player, but like all the others.
The thing is about sort of like McAllister, he needed a rest. Everybody can see that he needed a rest. That's the facts. Everybody can see that McAllister needed a rest, but you know, he's starting in some games when he should be starting and all sorts. So now he's gone on international. Obviously, when he went on to international duty, he's just playing a large amount of minutes in these games. You know what I mean? The guy's only human, bro. The guy's only human, but they're working him like a workhorse. I'm telling you, man, it's not good.
He's a player that has experienced so many things in his career already that he will be back at.
And apparently, there's some personal issues going on with him. Apparently, you know what I mean, it's a rumor, so I don't know what truth is in it. So I'll just say there's some personal issues going on with him at the moment.
At the level he wants and the level I want from him.
Hi Arnie. Sunday is the start of 7 games in 21 days, 3 weeks basically. And you've spoken plenty of times about the benefit of consistency and cohesion between the sides. But also, you know that
7 games in 21 days. Jesus Christ.
in such a period, you're not going to be able to play everyone every game. How hard is it to make that balance between trying to build that chemistry between the side, but also keep the freshness going?
And also, how many games is Federico Chiesa going to get out of that? Answers in the comment below.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because we were just talking about Maka, we were talking about Alex. Those are players we need to bring them back towards a lot of playing time, but you cannot go from no playing time at all to 3 times in a week. So that's why Conor Bradley the same in pre-season. So we had a few of them that led to changes, but everywhere around the world where teams have to face schedules like this, they have more than 11 players to take on this schedule. The thing is, if you rotate and you win, you do the smart thing. If you rotate and you lose, you have to play more with the same players. This is how football works, but it's clear that in general, it's especially for certain positions, it's almost impossible to play them every single game. And if you do, it's the risk of a player getting injured, and this has happened just before the international break with a few players, and has happened during the international break with some players, not with ours. Except for Alisson, of course. But
yeah.
So yeah,
Alisson's still out. He's not going to be. Definitely not be playing on Sunday.
You have to find a balance in this, but I think the ones we have are now longer to go. So yes, Alex is not the same player as Hugo, but they are both a number 9, and they both know what to do in our system. So it's only something I like, that I have more than 11 players that can play a game of football. And it's never the reason for us to drop points or to lose a game of football.
Will, last one.
And after the Chelsea game, there was a little bit of debate about Sal's position defensively. Mark and Pereira obviously come on and said that that was an area that Chelsea want to exploit. When you're playing a number 10 like Bert in there rather than Sabozlai, how do you strike that balance in terms of most position, out of possession, and tracking back?
We firstly tell Salah, number one, stop being greedy, and two, track back. He's so greedy. I couldn't forget. I could never forget. Yeah, that sort of like what he did the other day. Well, not the other day, but the last game when we played against Chelsea, when he had Isaac was right. Listen, he had an open goal, and open goal. All Salah had to do is just knock it to him, cut it back to him, bang. You know what I mean? We are sort of like we're level, and obviously at the end of the day, so what happens then? Remember at the end of the day, like Cody Gakpo sort of like scored his goal. We could have been 2-1 up, and that might have knocked the stuffing out of him. Where the factor sort of like it was 1-1. You know what I mean? Yeah, it gave Chelsea sort of like encouragement. Do you know what I mean? To bomb forward, and what happened? They end up winning the fucking game. Seriously, man, this guy pisses me off. Saturdays.
What does Florian Wirtz and Dominic Szoboszlai have to do with Cucurella attacking?
Last season, called a little bit more defensively on the right.
Did he?
His energy is pressing.
See, he doesn't even know, man. He doesn't even fucking know this guy. This guy's annoying. He doesn't even know that fucking situation when they scored that goal. It was on the right hand side, man. Jesus Christ.
I think they're both attacking midfielders, and both are expected to defend, like all our 11 players are expected to defend. So yes, in this particular case, I heard the comments of Cucurella. I also saw how they scored the 2-1, but I could also show you 5 or 6 moments where Mo could have made the difference for us.
Could have made the difference.
That would have
Could have made the difference, but he never. He could have made the difference, but he never. Could have, should have, would have. One of them ones. But he never made that fucking you know what I mean? That difference. Because you know what it is, he's too greedy and he's got a ton of religion. Do you know what I mean? He only sees the goal. He only sees what makes him right, look good. He only sees what makes him look good. Do you know what I mean? Many times he could have passed the ball because there was other players, right, that were in better position, but he never done it. He never done it, and he's been doing that. He's been doing that for listen, ever since Mane was there. That's why him and Mane couldn't get on sometimes. Because Mane was saying that brother, pass the ball, man. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? You're not on. You're not in a good position here. I'm in a better position than what you are. Pass the Ras Clark ball.
we would have had the conversation like last season, where he so many times made the difference for us. And yeah, if that then doesn't happen, you get probably comments like this. It's always the balance between winger and fullbacks that is quite. I want our fullbacks to attack as well.
Making excuses again.
So that we have to find the right balance in that. But I just said in the start that we are conceding too many crosses compared to last season, and this is something I'm aware of, and we have to do better.
Yeah, but you're not doing anything about it, are you, mate?
Better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, that's that. That is that. We'll get to the comment section just now. Let's get the comment section. Hit the comments. I would like to start Chiesa as he has warrant with how he has performed. I would like to start him, but he's not going to start him. He's just not going to start him, bro. I'm telling you. Graham Birch is a 6, and Szoboszlai is at 8. That's just Cooks. What was it? That Cooks. That just Cooks. And Jones alongside. Yep. Facts, Ravi. Big up, Ravi. Each and every time. Roz, what we need to do is to play. Hold on, get this thing so I can read it properly. Roz, what we need to do is play predictable. Oh, I understand that. Oh yeah, he means not play predictable. Yeah, I hear you. Trudon says he's tactically clueless. I tend to think that sometimes, my friend. I tend to think that. I've got a horrible feeling about this season. It's all over. It's all over the place. Yeah, I have. I don't have a good feeling about this season. You know, it may swing in our way. Never know. But I don't really have a good feeling about this season. Right. Let's have a look at. We'll look at my. I'll look at my lineup. I've got it here. Right, so if it's come up right. There we go. Oh, isn't it? There we go. Right. Hasn't took it over obviously whole of the screen because of the shape of the screen. But we move. Ross Clark moves better. In fact, what I could do is something like this. I could do something like this. So like this. Let's see what I've got. Okay. Yeah, I've got anyone that matches that one. Like that, and then alright, let's look at this one. Yeah, so let's do this one. Do it like that, yeah. Let's do it like that so it looks more better. Alright, so this is my lineup for the game on Sunday. It's my lineup for the game on Sunday. Right, so basically in there I've gone with Mambadas Philly, obviously, because Alisson's injured. Now I brought back in Frimpong because I think he deserves a start. You know what I mean? I've been impressed with him when he's played. Do you know what I mean? The only time I haven't really been impressed with him, but that wasn't really his fault. It's I think it was when they put him at the right wing. They put him in the right wing. I was like, no, that don't make any sense. So I've gone Frimpong and I've gone with Gomez and Virgil as our centre back partnership. You know what I mean? Gomez, I would have gone with Konate, but he hasn't really been impressing me so far. And I think really, when you look at Gomez, he needs to be taken out of the team because not Gomez, sorry, Konate. Konate needs to be taken out of the team because I think he's all over the place. He's all over the place. I don't know if it's a contract or want to go to Real Madrid. I don't know what it is, but he's all over the place, and his performance has dropped. You look at games like Arsenal, he was brilliant at Arsenal. Burnley, he was brilliant at Burnley. But other games, his performance has dropped. So I think he should be taken out of the team. He should be taken out of the team till he gets his head clear and head right, and then come back in. But that's why I put Gomez in. But you never know what could happen on Sunday. So Gomez and Virgil partner in defence. I put back in Robertson for the experience. Do you know what I mean? Because again, I think Kirk sometimes can be a bit rash. Excuse me, can be a bit rash in the way that he plays sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? He can be that. So I put back in Robertson for that, and have Kirk on the bench. You know what I mean? Now the two midfielders, in order for Florian Wirtz to work, that system where you want to put Florian Wirtz in order for that to work, you've got to have Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in sort of in there. Yeah, yeah. I think he's supposed to. I don't know if I can move. I can't move it. Yeah, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, because you got hard work in midfield inside there. Do you know what I mean? And I think Szoboszlai would actually sort of go back and help out defensively as well. So you got two kind of defensive minded players in there. Do you know what I mean? In the midfield, and also they're ball carriers as well. You know what I mean? So you have a quite industrious midfield there. Do you know what I mean? As I said, talking about Salah, we were talking about Salah earlier on. Yes, he's selfish and doesn't pass the ball and doesn't track back and so forth. But we have to remember he's scored 13 goals against Man United himself. I think he's got the most goals against United in the Premiership. I think in all. So yeah, he scored a bag of goals every day against Man United. So you would actually start something like Salah to sort of try and get the ball rolling, as it were. Do you know what I mean? In the way of goals and that. So I can understand. That's why I put Salah in. Do you know what I mean? Any other game I probably wouldn't put him in, but because of this game and because he's done so well in these kind of games, I put him in. Obviously Wirtz as a 10. So really and truly, as I said, in order for Wirtz to work, I think he has to have Szoboszlai and Gravenberch in midfield, and obviously him further forward as in a 10 role. Do you know what I mean? That the midfield can carry the ball to him, and he can, offer service to Alexander Isak. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously on the left, you've got Ekitike. I've gone with Ekitike on the left because Gakpo, again, sometimes to me with Gakpo, he can be a bit too predictable, a bit too one-dimensional. You probably know what he's going to do before he actually does it. Do you know what I mean? But with Ekitike, what I've noticed with him, you'll get a lot of hard work. Do you know what I mean? With Ekitike, he will be tracking back in the day to help out Robertson certain times, and plus that they're bringing that ball forward and knocking the ball inside to Isak. Sometimes they'll probably form a 4-4-2 some more time. What's it? Wirtz will drop back into midfield and then them two will come up front. Do you know what I mean? But I think it'd probably be very important having Ekitike on the left. Do you know what I mean? Then you got Isak up front. You know what I mean? Which needs to sort of obviously kickstart his career at Liverpool by scoring goals, because that's what we brought him for. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we brought him for. So he'll be looking to kickstart his career at Liverpool. So the predicted lineup, it goes like this: Maradashvili in goal, Frimpong, Gomez, Virgil, and Robertson make up your back four. The two in midfield, the two pivots in midfield would be Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. On the right-hand side, you have Mohamed Salah playing the 10. You have Wirtz and also Ekitike on the left. Then our striker is Alexander Isak. That alone should get us the victory. It alone should get the victory. Okay, okay. Let's see what the comment section is saying. Right. 14-15 season, we signed a lot of players and they never did gel. This feels the same. I would say it's not because he's what's John Barnes is 15. He's not probably not the same because of like obviously different caliber players that we bought. You know, I tend to think these players are better. Stop sharing. How do I do this? Yeah, there you go. Just remove it. Remove it. I can't get this moment in life. In life. Oh, I could have just done this one in here. But no, sure. Let's go back to this one. What's this? Yeah, let's go back to here. Yeah, so cancel that, man. Right, so let's get back to the chat. Let's get back to the chat. So I just have to rearrange. What the fuck? All right. Yeah, was John Barnes 15? What's that? Did you hear that John Barnes 1.5 million in debt, bankrupt now? Rotted. Stop that. See, it's a lot of money to be in debt with, boy. Stop. Please play players in a natural position, and we cook none of this makeshift tactics. Big up Ravi. Trust me, man. Big up Ravi. That's what I want. I don't want no fucking foolishness. When we play a high line, we must recover quickly, or United will do us up like a kipper. Yeah, that's why I think it's important for people like Frimpong to play because he has got good recovery, and obviously what's it? Sabozla is very defensive as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's important that them two play. Would do us. Yeah, they would do. They would. Yeah. So yes, this is like I've come to the end of the show now. I should be on Fuzzy's channel later on. Should be on Fuzzy's channel later on for a debate show. Do you know what I mean? So it should about 11 o'clock should be on there. But like I do have to say it, and the YouTube space at the moment it's kind of poor at the moment. You understand? It's kind of poor, and you know what I mean? Because it's right. What's been happening today? This stream, I've been fluttering from like 3 to 0, and for a person that's been doing this since 2019, my sort of like my views should be a lot more higher than this. It should be a lot more higher than this. You understand what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? But yet you got people that will come on sort of like come on stream, start like moaning and sort of like, you know, it's about the fact that they think that YouTube's not the same, it's toxic, it's this and it's that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. But then they're doing the same thing of what they said not gonna be doing the next day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like me and Fuzzy and we've talked about the fact at the day of how YouTube is toxic. We talked about that time ago, a long time ago, but nobody listens to us. But then something else comes out, right? Yeah, one of the most popular ones come out and says, well, X, Y, and Z about you being toxic and for that, and then everybody rallies around the person and they, right, and his views go up. Well, not necessarily views go up, but he starts working with people start lending out a hand and everything that and start working with him. Right now, I'm talking to you, like, guys, right now, and I've got 0 people watching me. 0. I've got 0 people watching me right now, right? And that's not good enough. It just makes me, makes me want to jack it all in, just fuck it all off. Seriously, it just makes me want to fuck it all off. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I just feel like fucking it all off. I just can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with wasting my time with this. Do you know what I mean? And when you get in contact with YouTube and tell them, look, that my views are very low and I think, no, what am I doing wrong? And this and that. I said, oh no, you're not doing anything wrong and this and that. Well, you're doing well. Well, I'm not, am I? I'm not. And the same person in the day that was complaining about like YouTube's not the same anymore. He's like, it's this and it's that and I think that, right? This guy is still getting like 200 people watching him. Over 200 people watching him. He's still getting that. Even if he doesn't do a stream, right? If he doesn't do a stream for about 3 or 4 weeks in a day, as soon as he comes on again, 200 or 300 people watching him. I'll be lucky to get that, bro. I'll be lucky to get that. Oh, look, it's gone up to 1 now. There's got to be something miraculously wrong with this YouTube space at the end of the day. My friend Fuzzin and fit that, right? You know what I mean? Most he's clocking up is 15 and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And I know from first hand and day, he works so hard in his graphics. He works so hard in bringing content and day to the masses and everything that. And this is how YouTube praised him by giving him 15 views. Do you know what I mean? I work hard as well. I do my shit. You know what I mean? I try to jazz my channel up and stuff with, with acquiring different softwares from my guy, N90. Big up N90 each and every time. Make sure you go and like and subscribe to his channel, right? We just jazz up my channel, but it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. In the transfer window and day, I was hitting some numbers, boy. In the transfer window, I was hitting some numbers and then as soon as the transfer window died down, that's when the views died down. That's when the views died down, bro. I'm telling you, know what I mean? And that's when people that's when certain people start to get funny when it came to collaborating with them. They want, you email them or you message them on Twitter or whatever, and they don't answer you back. They don't have the decency. This is what I'm talking about. They don't have the decency to answer you back. Don't have the decency to answer you back. Some people at the day will say, yeah, man, I'll come on your show and everything that, yeah, and you sort it all out and you get your thumbnail sorted and so forth. And then what happens, yeah, it's like coming up to date, oh, I can't make it because I've got to do this, I've got to do this and do that. I can't make it. And then the same time that you're on, yeah, you see him and he gets spotted on another channel live. You know what I mean? So what? You couldn't do my show, but you done somebody else's show. Do you know what I mean? It's just shit like that. I'm just like, just fed up with it, bro. Just really and truly fed up with it. With the low views and and the muggy behavior by certain people. I'm just really fed up with it. Do you know what I mean? Right now and day right now and day, my pops and they is going through some shit and that's that, right? Yeah, you understand. So this is a good release from me, and if it's that, right, I'm not even getting that. Nobody's coming out and saying, bro, I know you've been under it and everything that, right? Come on my channel or YouTube at the day ain't even fucking like doing their bit because the facts at the day, right? You know what I mean? It's all about the algorithm. I'm telling you, it's all about the algorithm, and they control the algorithm. I don't know how at the end of the day, right? Look, no disrespect to Donald San, yeah, right, yeah, but he gets a maximum, but like over 1,000 people watching him. Yeah, Judge Mo, the same, over 1,000 people watching him, and they're not doing anything special. You know what I mean? Don't get wrong, the content is good. Hold on. See, he's itchy though. Stop that. Their content is good. Don't get me wrong, their content is good and I think that, right? But so do I put out good content, which I like to think I do. Do you know what I mean? I work hard on bringing out my content. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, so how comes how comes at the day sort of like these people and some of these people, and I have to call Judge Mo as well, right? Judge Mo is an Inter Milan supporter. Yeah, he's an Inter Milan supporter. He supports Inter Milan. Yeah, right. That's his team, but he spends more time at the day talking about teams in the Premiership than what he does talking about his team. Why is that? Is it because your team's not interesting? Do you know what I mean? The only show I see him do on Inter Milan is when he was in the Champions League final. That was it. I've never seen Judge Mo and Day do anything on Inter Milan, constantly do anything. He's all about sort of like, you know what I mean, you know, like the Premiership in the day and trying to rattle the fans of like, you know, Liverpool, Arsenal and Man United and stuff. Do you know what I mean? The rattle team. I call them the rattle team. You understand? But yet in the day, them man that cock up some numbers, G. The man clock up numbers and everything that, right? And meanwhile, people like us, me, Fuzzy, and a few others in there that work extremely hard at the end of the day on our stuff and everything that don't get nothing. We don't get no repayment in the day for what we're doing. All we get in the day is low numbers, constantly low numbers. No matter what we try, no matter what we do in there, it's constantly low numbers. Do you know what I mean? The most numbers that I've got in a day, right, viewing me since the transfer window died down, right, was 25 people. That's the most people, yeah? Anfield Agenda's on now, and I think that, right? Anfield Agenda's on. Craig from Anfield Agenda's on, right? Yeah. He did a video the other day, a match preview. He did a video, all right? And it was 8.5 minutes long. Do you know how long? Do you know how many views he got for that 8.5 minute long video of a match preview? Yeah, 13,500 views he got for that. 13.5 views he got for that. Yeah, I did a video the other day, and it was like a match reaction. It's like it's a match reaction. Yeah, right, to the Chelsea game. Yeah, I do believe the Chelsea game because I deleted it because I thought there's no point in me having it up there, right? 20 few views I got, and that was 20 minutes, and that was a video. But this guy, Craig, will come on and 13,000 people viewed his material. People like that don't even have to try. That's what it seems to me at the end of the day, right? Then people like that don't even have to try. They just all they have to do is appear. They have to appear on YouTube and for that, and views. You see the views going up. You see them like the likes going up. They're getting like 500 likes and everything. And I was told at the day, right? Yeah, it's all about the likes and the day. You get the likes up and the views come in. Yeah, I've got like one time I got over 100 and something views. Yeah, over 100 something views on one show. Yeah, I done. Yeah. I'm sorry, over 100 for something likes. I think it's something 120 likes, yeah. But however, when I done my next show now, right, the views wasn't up. The views was not up. But yet, and then these guys at the day, their views shoot up like that. They don't. What I'm trying to say then, they don't even have to try. They do not have to try anything like that, right? Their views go up like that, and it's like who said Donald Sandy said yesterday, you know, he goes, "Oh, help me out," and everything that said to obviously people was watching, not me. He goes, "Help me out," and everything because there's the algorithm is a bit funny at the moment and that, yeah. But mind you, he still had 285 people watching it. So I'm thinking, and I shared a joke with Fuzz today. I was thinking to myself, well, if the algorithm is going to be funny to him, yeah, right. God help me, I've got no chance. I've got no chance. I'm just literally at the end of the day, I'm at a crossroads. Whether I should just carry on doing this or just fuck it all off, just knock it on the head, and just do something else, because it's not worth it in the long run. You know what I mean? I got to pay for my Google ads and everything like that, right? Put it this way, I'm spending that more money on doing this YouTube than what I'm getting in. Was it last month? Yeah, I think it was last month. Yeah, last month was it? Yeah, last month was the first ever time in 6 years that I've got paid from YouTube. First ever time I got paid. I got something like £67. That's the first ever time I got paid in YouTube, and it'll probably be the last. Because to clock up those numbers again, that for the views and obviously for, like, you know what I mean, to push your earnings up and stuff, right? I can't see myself doing it. So then, if I'm spending more money at the end of the day than what I'm actually getting in, does it become worth it? It's not good business sense, is it? Yeah, well, no matter what we do, no matter what we try, yeah, it's always the same, like bloody same shit, same low viewings and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even tightened up my background and everything like that. Do you know what I mean? Still low. The most I've had watch me tonight is 4 people. And I've got over 5. This makes sense, yeah. I've got over 5,000. I think it's 5. What is it? Let me check. Yeah, big up Fuzzy and Chip Time. Right. 5,369. That's what I've got. Yeah. And I'm getting these low numbers. You know what I mean? I'll leave it up to you guys. You tell me what I should do. You tell me what to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, it's just doing my head in. It just makes me, I'm just getting like vexed with it still. You know what I mean? Because I like doing this, but the thing is about it, if I'm gonna be spending out more money at the end of the day than what I'm actually bringing in, it just doesn't make no sense. Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. You know what I mean? It makes no sense to them, because like I might as well just keep the money that I've got and everything and just jack it in. You understand? Because it's just like, to me, at the end of the day, it's just, I can't see the point, man. I've been like, I showed a video tonight and I showed my my lineup and that. Do you know what I mean? I had some, I thought I had some interesting talk about, the actual the actual sort of like game and that. You know what I mean? I think it was interesting. What's this thing? Maybe chat to Callum and ask for some advice. I've had Callum on my show, bro. I've had him on my show. He's a good friend of mine. I've had him on the show still. Do you know what I mean? But it's only so many times you can have people like that in the show, and there's only so many times that you can ask people for advice and that. It's just jarring, bro. It's just jarring, man. What's this one? Roz, Roz, is that need to multiple stream for the day? Well, I don't understand that. But is it that need to? Oh, is it that need to multiple streams for the day? I've tried that before. You know what I mean? It just don't make a difference, man. It's not make a difference. Maybe just I read that. To Rasclad. Yeah, give me a minute. I'm coming down. Yeah. All right, I'm coming. A lot of independent Liverpool YouTubers down the years stopped streaming because they saw no progress. Yeah, I mean, one second, guys. No, ask him for advice. Yeah, I know. Right, guys, let me just do something and I'll come back to this. Yeah, give me a second. I was going to do something for my dad. Yeah, take it to the bathroom. I'm just going to take my dad to the bathroom and I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, all right, guys. See you in a minute. Yeah, back. Yeah, that's something my dad to talk. I'm gonna wrap up now anyway. Curtis Blow, you know. But a Mark Goldbridge who chats nonsense, he gets lots of views. Exactly, that's exactly my point. I need to do a separate show on this. I actually need to do a separate show on this still, and I can sort of like delve in and what I'm saying. But I'm not too happy. Ross Footriak said, "Keep grinding." He said, Was it? RN is YouTube is bugged, but still getting paid well. Yeah, I'm not, mate. I'm not getting paid well. To be fair, I think 2 streams or at least one every day. Yeah, I used to do that, you know. Hussein, a few others said the same thing. You got to keep grinding, changing thumbnails, and see what people are saying. I do that all the time. I do. If you look at my thumbnail today, yeah, my thumbnail's like Civil War, and I've got like I change the background to Civil War. One stream every few weeks. His son does 3 a day. Yeah, I know he does 3 a day. No, sometimes he does 4 or 5. Sometimes he does 4 or 5, and that in itself at the day is not. It doesn't help other YouTubers because it's just taking up the airwaves, isn't it? By the time he's finished doing what he's doing, nobody else wants to really look at anything else, really. Do you know what I mean? So, listen, I've tried the situation today of doing like being consistent and sort of like doing that at least one stream a day, and blah 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 blah. But it still don't make a difference. But I'll probably try it again. Do you know what I mean? But it's annoying at the moment and day, and it's just like it takes up a lot of my time, and I think for what? Excuse me, for what? Anyway, that's enough of me. I think I'm gonna do a stream on that Pacific Point one time. Do you know what I mean? But like, listen. In the meantime, listen. Just keep on hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and also hit the notification button. You'll be notified whenever I go live. You understand? But till I see you guys, be amazing, be blessed. Take care.